The most disciplined people you know don't have more willpower than you. They don't have stronger genetics. They don't have a secret morning routine. They don't even particularly love what they do most days. They did one thing 95% of self-improvement readers will never do. They picked one thing and refused to stop doing it for 90 days. Your problem isn't motivation. You have more motivation than they did at your stage. You have read more books. You have taken more courses. You have downloaded more apps. You have started more "This is the year I change everything" Mondays than they have. You have 14 books. They had one decision. You have 8 productivity apps. They had a 5:30 alarm. You have a Notion template with 47 habits to track. They had one habit for 30 days, without expectation. Here's the brutal math nobody tells you. In the last 3 years, you have had 1,095 chances to start something disciplined. You have started 32 of them. You have finished 0, not because you're weak, because you have confused starting with installing, and you have never actually let one habit run long enough to become identity. The average person tries to install 14 habits at once and keeps 0. The average disciplined person installs one habit a year and keeps every single one. Same 5 years, 2 completely different lives. This is your life at every level of discipline. From the first day you refuse to snooze the alarm, to the day you look at a photo of yourself from 5 years ago and don't recognize the eyes. It starts with one thing, and a decision big enough to silence every excuse you've ever made. Level 1. The undisciplined life. You are 28 years old, and you are motivated, not lazy, actually motivated, the kind of motivated your friends ask for advice from. You have read 14 books on habits, productivity, and self-improvement in the last 3 years. You follow 8 self-development YouTubers. You have taken 5 online courses on discipline, focus, deep work. You have downloaded 12 productivity apps you no longer open. You are not failing at discipline. You are failing because of motivation. Too much of it, applied in too many directions, never to the same direction twice. Your average habit lasts 11 days. You have started. The year you change everything. 4 times. Each January 1st. Each new haircut. Each new apartment. The first 3 weeks of each attempt are immaculate. The 4th week always finds you on your couch at 11 p.m. Googling, "Why do I lack motivation?" You don't lack motivation. You lack a finished sentence. The thought arrives on a Monday morning at 5:30 a.m. Your alarm rings. You snooze. It rings again. You snooze again. The 3rd time, you wake at 6:13 and lie there for 9 minutes, staring at the ceiling. You did this exact same thing yesterday. You did this exact same thing 7 days ago. You have done this exact same thing approximately 1,095 times, every morning for the last 3 years. You pull up the calculator app on your phone. 3 years times 365 days equals 1,095 mornings. You can count on one hand the number of mornings in that span you have woken up at 5:30 and stayed up, maybe 4, possibly 3. 1,091 morning surrenders versus 4 morning wins. You sit with that number for a long time. The thought lasts 4 seconds before the other thoughts arrive. I need a better app. I need a better routine. I need to read Atomic Habits again. I need to wait until next Monday. I need motivation to come back. I need. You stay in bed for another 17 minutes. The gap between the version of you who promises everything on Sunday night and the version of you who delivers nothing by Friday afternoon has a name. It is called the motivation cycle. And 92% of self-improvement readers are running it tonight, while the math that could change their lives sits on the other side of a single decision they will not make. Level 2. The first Keystone habit. You give up on becoming a better person. You read one more article, one written by someone who is not selling a course, and the article says, pick one thing. Make it the smallest thing you can imagine doing. Do it for 90 days. Add nothing else. You almost close the tab, because you have read this advice before, in the books, in the courses, in the apps. You knew this already. You did not. You schedule one thing, 5:30 a.m. Alarm, every day, including weekends, including holidays, including the day after a wedding, including the day after a time zone flight. No exceptions for 90 days. You make one promise to yourself that you can keep. Get out of bed at 5:30. That is all. You do not have to work out. You do not have to read. You do not have to meditate. You just have to put your feet on the floor and stay vertical until 6. Week 1. Torture. You snooze twice on day 4 and force yourself up anyway at 5:47. You almost quit on day 7. Week 3. The alarm rings and your body is already half conscious before it makes a sound. Week 6. You wake at 5:28, 2 minutes before the alarm, and reach over to silence it before it disturbs your partner. Day 90 arrives on a Tuesday in October. You wake at 5:30, walk to the kitchen, pour coffee, sit at the table, and realize something quietly. You cannot picture yourself sleeping until 8 a.m. anymore. That person is gone. Your bank account did not grow. You did not lose weight. No one outside your home noticed. By any external metric, your life is unchanged. But on day 30, a friend who saw your alarm screenshots on Instagram texted, "What are you trying to prove?" You stared at the message for a long time before answering. Because the real answer is nothing. You are not trying to prove anything to anyone else. You are proving, for the first time in your adult life, that you can keep a single promise to yourself. Everything else discipline does after this is downstream of that one proof. Level 3. The stacking system. You add a second thing in month 4. 20 minutes of reading after coffee, before opening any device. The same way the 5:30 alarm became automatic, paired with the existing habit, not separated from it. You do not change your morning. You attach reading to it. Month 5. 30 minutes of strength training, 3 days a week. You set the gym bag by the front door the night before. You make the decision once, at 9 p.m., when willpower is cheap. Month 6. No phone before 9 a.m. The phone sleeps in a drawer in another room. By month 6, you have stacked 4 habits onto 1. None feels like work anymore. They feel like the order of the morning, the order of who you are. Then the crisis arrives. You take a 5-day trip to a different time zone. The 5:30 alarm becomes 2:30 inches body time. The gym becomes inaccessible. The phone becomes the only connection to home. You break everything for 5 days. You come home on a Sunday night, and on Monday morning the alarm rings at 5:30 and you do not move. Your body has lost the rhythm. You sleep until 7:42. Tuesday, 7:30. Wednesday, 7:15. The voice in your head, the same voice that won every Monday for 3 years, returns. See, you're still the same person. You always were. Then you remember something the article from month 4 said. Never miss twice. Missing once is human. Missing twice is the start of an identity slide. You already missed 3. You are 1 day from the slide becoming the new floor. Thursday morning, the alarm rings at 5:30. You get out of bed, not because you want to, because the rule is the rule. You drink coffee, you read, you go to the gym. By Friday, you are back. 200 days of identity did not get erased by 3 days of failure. They cannot be. Identity is not fragile. It just needs proof you are still the person it says you are. Month 12. 4 habits stacked. Average 21 days consecutive every month. Not 30 of 30. Enough. Discipline is not perfection. It is the rebound time. Level 4. The crossing. You do not become a disciplined person on a dramatic morning. You become one on a Tuesday in March, standing in line for coffee, when a stranger glances at your forearm and says, "What gym do you train at?" You answer reflexively, "I train every morning at 6, pull day today." Then you walk to your car. Halfway across the parking lot, you realize what you just said. You said, "I train." Not, "I'm trying to train more." Not, "I just started a few months ago." Not, "I'm working on it." Present tense, declarative, like saying your name. For the first time in your adult life, you used present tense to describe a habit you did not have 18 months ago. The difference is the entire game. Trying is a journey, being is a destination. You spent 14 years in journey mode. You did not realize you had crossed into destination mode until a stranger handed you the proof. You have 3 conversations that month. A mentor, 20 years of stacked habits, a man who has not missed a workout in 19 of those years. You ask one question: what do you wish you had known earlier? He thinks. Then he says, stop tracking habits. If you still need a tracker after year 2, you're not building habits anymore. You're managing self-doubt. Real discipline is invisible. It's just what you do. You write that down. His mentor, a woman in her 70s, met through reference. Discipline is the only meta skill. Once you have it, you can install any other skill in your life. Without it, you can install nothing permanently. Your partner, over Sunday breakfast, you do not ask permission. You set a new ritual together. Morning walk, every day, after the kids leave for school. You delete 3 of your habit tracking apps that week. You stop counting consecutive days. You stop screenshotting the 5:30 alarm. Not because you stopped doing the habits, because the habits stopped being habits. They became you. The version of you who needed to track them is gone. You are not the person trying to be disciplined. You are the disciplined person. Level 5. The first system. Year 3. You discover something nobody mentioned in any of the 14 books. Willpower runs out. The most disciplined people in the world are not the ones with the most willpower. They are the ones who never have to use it. Their environment makes the disciplined choice the only choice. They removed the negotiation from their day before the day began. You spent 2 years training willpower. You did not realize the goal was to make willpower obsolete. You spend a weekend redesigning your environment. The phone sleeps in a wooden box in the laundry room. You hide the key in a kitchen drawer. To use the phone in bed, you would have to walk down a hallway and find the key in the dark. You don't. The kitchen no longer contains junk food. You did not develop more discipline at the grocery store. You stopped going to the aisles that sell it. What is not in the house is not eaten in the house. Your calendar box, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Every weekday, deep work, no meetings, no exceptions. The system rejects the meeting invite before you ever see it. The bank account labeled untouchable automatically receives 20% of every deposit. You do not see the money. You do not have to choose not to spend it. The choice was made 9 months ago, with one form submission. Then comes the crisis. Year 3, quarter 4. Work pressure spikes. You stay up late. You unlock the phone box. You scroll to 1 a.m. on a Tuesday. For 2 weeks, the morning routine erodes by inches. You do not realize how far you have drifted until a Friday morning, when you skip the gym for the 4th time in a row and feel nothing, not guilt, not even the urge to fix it. That is when you understand the second lesson. You are not weak. The environment broke down. And the moment the environment lets you negotiate, you start losing those negotiations. You spend a Sunday rebuilding the system from scratch, the way an architect repairs a load-bearing wall, not the way a runner pushes through pain. By month 2 of the new system, you are back. You stop being a disciplined person. You become a person who built a life that does not require discipline anymore. Level 6. The Reinvented Self. Year 7. You are 35 years old. You sit at the kitchen table, the same kitchen table where the 5:30 alarm was first set 7 years ago, and look at a photo on your phone. The photo is a selfie from year 0. Sunday night, eyes half closed, half empty glass of wine, cluttered apartment behind you. You stare at the eyes for a long time. Not the body, not the hair, not the apartment, the eyes. The eyes in that photo are looking for something, hoping, searching, waiting for something to start. You walk to the bathroom and look at your eyes in the mirror. Today's eyes are not searching. They are settled. They are not hoping. They are knowing. The difference is not age. The difference is what those eyes have done in the last 7 years. You go through your morning ritual without thinking. Wake at 5:30. Pour coffee. Read for 30 minutes. Workout 60. Deep work block 90. The whole routine takes the same effort it takes to brush your teeth, which is to say, none. Your net worth has multiplied 8 times since year 0, because the discipline that built your morning eventually built your investing, your career pivot, your health, your marriage. Each habit compounds into the next. Each year amplifies the last. You realize what nobody told you at the start. Discipline was never about discipline. It was about becoming a person you wanted to be and refusing to argue with yourself about that person for 10 years. A message arrives on a Wednesday afternoon from a 6-year-old who follows your work. She writes, "I want to build a morning routine. Where do I start?" You read it for a long time. Then you write back from the kitchen table where it all started. Don't start a morning routine. That's level 3. You're at level 0. Tomorrow morning, do one thing. When your alarm rings, get out of bed the first time. No snooze. Just that. Do it for 30 days. Then text me again. Everything else you want from discipline is downstream of that single proof. You hit send. Then you do the only thing left to do. You close the phone. You drink your coffee. And you become, again, the person you decided to be for the 2,555th day in a row. Coda. Somewhere tonight, a 8-year-old is scrolling YouTube self-improvement at 11:47 p.m. 3 empty water glasses beside the bed, an alarm set for 5:30 a.m. They know they will snooze. The thought will last 4 seconds. Then the fears. The, "I'll start tomorrow." The, "After this project." The, "When I'm ready." The, "When life calms down." The practiced logic of someone who has confused, starting with installing, who thinks the next app will fix it, who believes the problem is motivation instead of structure. Most of the time, the thought disappears. But sometimes, someone picks one thing, the smallest thing they can imagine, and refuses to stop doing it for 90 days. Sometimes, day 7 becomes day 8, and day 8 becomes day 30. Sometimes, after 3 weeks of dragging themselves to the alarm, the body wakes 30 seconds before it rings. Sometimes, a stranger asks, "What gym do you train at?" And someone answers in present tense for the first time in their life. Sometimes, someone breaks 3 days in a row, remembers the rule, never miss twice, and goes back on day 4. Sometimes someone deletes every habit tracking app on their phone because the habits no longer need tracking. The first habit proves you can keep a promise to yourself. The recovery after breaking proves you are not a quitter. The day you use present tense proves you became someone else. The day you delete the tracker proves the habit became identity. The system is the person. And the person, built deliberately, repeated quietly, defended for years, turns out to be more durable than any motivation that requires inspiration. More durable than any productivity app that requires a notification. More durable than any January resolution that requires a fresh calendar. More durable than any version of you that needed to be tracked to be trusted. It started with one alarm at 5:30 a.m. and a decision big enough to silence every excuse you have ever made. Start with one thing for 30 days without any expectation that it will change your life. It will.